The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl for the second time in a row to become the first back-to-back Super Bowl champions in 20 years. This happened after they had their worst regular season in recent years and were losing at one point in every playoff game leading up to the Super Bowl. So how did they turn it around and make history? My name is Bryce Wilson and I'm a mental performance coach. I analyzed the game and watched every post-game interview of every player and coach, and this is how the Kansas City Chiefs won Super Bowl 58. This year, the Chiefs had a losing record of 5-8 at one point in the regular season.
The Chiefs look sloppy.
This offense is not good enough. People don't fear them anymore.
To have your receivers now dropping 26 passes on the season, it's gotten to a point where it's embarrassing.
It's hard for me to envision this version of the Chiefs suddenly snapping out of it and hoisting a Lombardi.
We had a lot of doubters. No one believed in us.
Man, we heard it all, baby. All we did was just circle those wagons.
The Chiefs heard it all and didn't ignore it, but instead used it to fuel them the entire season.
Fire me up, baby.
Despite being the former Super Bowl champions, they started this Super Bowl by being down 10 points. Although a fantastic offensive team, they weren't playing great offensively, and they could have easily started doubting themselves, but still they believed.
Never down my mind.
The attitude of the team to never give up, always believe, and to continue the fight.
How were they able to maintain that belief?
We had the formula.
The Chiefs got their confidence from having experience playing in multiple Super Bowls and being former Super Bowl champions. The experience helped Mahomes not to get rattled when they were losing or when he threw an interception. Mahomes easily could have tried to make heroic plays to redeem his mistakes, but likely would have only made more mistakes.
Just knowing when to take those chances and when not to. Just knowing that even when it's not going the way that I want it to go, to not press, not push, man, and let the game come to me.
Instead, experience taught him not to force anything and to continue playing in a way that has worked for him in the past. Although the teams believed, that didn't mean that they weren't frustrated. Now, this is one area that Travis Kelce could improve in.
I was just telling him how much I love him.
Of course, he's passionate and allowed to get frustrated, but you can't let your emotions cause you to disrespect your coach. Because me personally, if Kelce did that to me, I would've. The reason that controlling your emotions is so important is that it allows you to think straight and make the best decision. If Kelce was calm and thinking straight, he would never push and yell in the face of a coach he loves. But since there's all this pent-up emotion and he hasn't controlled it, he ended up reacting in a way that he regretted. And proof of this is that Kelce apologized to his coach afterwards.
He didn't know I was going to go that far.
Right.
He came over and gave me a hug. So sorry about that.
Sometimes those emotions get away from me, man. It's definitely unacceptable, and I immediately wish I would have took it back. Big Red, sorry if I caught you with that cheap shot.
Although Kelce lacked emotional control, Mahomes had excellent emotional control. And as a leader, that calmed down the team. And that's what allowed the team to maintain composure and come up clutch in the end. Still, at the end of the first half, they were losing and had only scored a field goal.
First half, Travis Kelce, 1 catch for 1 yard.
What a jabroni. Guys got to get in the game, man.
The entire team was frustrated with their performance. So what did the Kansas City Chiefs tell each other at halftime?
The conversation that at halftime was, let's just get back to being us.
Yeah.
Going out there, executing at a high level, playing with intensity.
Mahomes knew that they were a high-scoring offense and couldn't leave this game without displaying all that they were capable of. He had full confidence that if they played how he knew they could play, they would make a comeback.
Things start to go wrong, guys start pressing, coaches start changing, and that's the difference with Coach Reed. He just stays even keel, and he's going to continue to do the same things, win, lose, or draw.
Lots of coaches and players at halftime of a game like that would change their whole game plan and would switch to something completely different out of fear. But the Chiefs trusted their process and their team. They understood that they might have let the moment get to them in the first half, but they just needed to get back to playing how they always have, and they could get back in this game. To have that ability to trust your process and yourself, you have to put in the work.
What makes him so special in crunch time?
Preparation, man. This guy works harder than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Mahomes wouldn't have the confidence to redeem himself in the second half after a rough first half if he didn't put in the work this entire season that he knew he was supposed to put in. And it's that work that prepared him for this moment. However the team performs on game day is a direct result of the work that they put in behind the scenes. The question of whether you put in enough work or not will get exposed under the bright lights come game day. Mahomes was eventually able to shine in this Super Bowl while millions watched, only because he put in the work while no one was watching.
When I walk the lunch and I see 6, 7 receivers out there catching all the time in their off time, that proves to me that they're going to make those moments happen whenever they get the chance.
But it wasn't just Mahomes. The whole team had the culture of working hard and going the extra mile. And since everyone was putting in the extra hours to get better, that increases the trust in each other, which is crucial because in those pressure moments with the game on the line, the whole team needs to fully trust each other to get the job done. After a horrible first half, the Chiefs turned it around in the second half because
They want to win.
even Kelce's outburst was evidence of that. It was an overreaction, but it came from a good place. Kelce loves the game and wants to compete.
That moment right there, that speaks to the team that we are. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the game, wants to compete.
And I bet their coach has chewed the players out in a similar way before as well. They're passionate about the game, and although some lines may get crossed, I'd rather have players that are overly passionate than players who aren't passionate at all.
I got nothing but respect for the 49ers. That team was every bit deserving as we were. I got a lot of respect for them, their coaches. That game went all the way down the wire for a reason.
However, being a true competitor doesn't mean you hate your opponent. It actually means you respect them, because they pushed you to reach levels that you weren't capable of reaching on your own. They also couldn't win the Super Bowl without the whole team.
I'm so proud of the defense, man. It wasn't just offense, it wasn't just defense. Everybody had to step up.
Here's the 3-time Super Bowl MVP, who was basically the reason they scored any of their points. And here he is saying that they won the game because of their defense, and that it wasn't just him, it was a whole team effort.
If you can come together as a team and be the best on that day, that's how you get to here and that's how you win Super Bowls.
The saying rings true. Talent wins games, but teams win championships. No matter your talent level, you have to work completely as a team to win tough games and win championships.
They don't get down on each other. They support each other. It's a team.
The Chiefs were able to tie the game, and it went into overtime. After the 49ers scored a field goal first, they had one last drive to win the game.
I had all belief in the world that we were going to go down there and win it.
Not a doubt in our heart.
That's the benefit of already having been in this position and won before. While other teams might believe they can win the game with one possession left, the Chiefs know they can win the game because they've been there before. This is how experience builds confidence. But even without experience, everyone needs to believe that they'll succeed for the outcome to come true. The Chiefs end up scoring a touchdown in their last drive to win the game.
To go through all that and then win this one, how much more special does that make this one?
It's the most special one I think I've ever gotten.
Although they had a difficult road to the championship by having a target on their back from winning the previous year, going through all that and coming out victorious makes the victory even sweeter.
To have the doubters, to have the road that we went through, it meant everything to even get to this point.
So when you experience struggle and suffering, persevere with the understanding that once you cross the finish line, a hard-earned victory will feel so much better than if it was just an easy race and you had won.
Hey, we're not done, dog. I want 3.
We got to get 3.
3. No one's ever got 3. I want back-to-back-to-back.
This guy just made history for winning back-to-back Super Bowls, has already won 3 Super Bowl rings in 5 years, and despite his young age, is already an NFL legend. Yet here he is minutes after his historic win, saying he wants to go for another.
We're going for 3. Let's see what we can do.
It's insane, but this mentality is the reason that he's in the position he's in. He's never satisfied and is always hungry for more. This is why it's important to have an unattainable goal like he has of being great, because there's no finish line that encourages you to relax. You can bet that if he wins his 3rd in a row, he's gonna go for a 4th, because he's not going for a specific number. He's chasing greatness.
Best I've ever seen, kid.
I appreciate it.
No doubt about it.
I'm not done though. We got a long way to go.
Even when someone tries to give him a compliment, he brushes it off, because he knows if he soaks in the praise and gets comfortable, he won't work like he has something to prove. And that's just the moment someone will pass him up.
I'm gonna celebrate tonight. I'm gonna celebrate at the parade, and then I'm gonna do whatever I can to be back in this game next year and trying to go for that 3-peat.
The only way to achieve what he's looking to achieve is to remain hungry and never satisfied.
Are you also chasing the quarterback greats of this game?
Some people say don't compare yourself to anyone else. And while that's true, it doesn't mean not to compete with others. And you can even compete against people who you aren't even playing against.
Brady beat me in the Super Bowl. That's one thing you'll always have in my head, but it gives me something to strive for every single day, is chasing greatness. And whenever I'm tired, I might not want to work out, I know that I have to do it in order to be in these moments like this.
Here's Mahomes saying he's competing against Tom Brady even though he's not even playing anymore. But this isn't a malicious thing like he hates Tom Brady. Instead, he respects him and wants to use his roadmap to inspire and push him to achieve the same and more. When you're at the level he's at, sometimes you have to chase accolades that aren't even attainable. Aiming to become the greatest of all time is subjective. And even if he won 8 Super Bowl rings, there would still be people that would say Tom Brady is still the GOAT. But having this unattainable goal allows him to stay motivated day in and day out for years on end. As you can see, the Kansas City Chiefs had a winner's mindset, which allowed them to win the Super Bowl. If you feel like your mindset is holding you back, check out my new Winners Academy, where I'll coach you through any mental struggles you might have and teach you how to develop a winner's mindset. If you're interested, click the link in the description. Also, if you learned something new this video, check out my last video to learn more.